Hi guys, it's Granny Tana speaking. Welcome to this video about wishes for the next farm sim. Player wishes for the next farm sim. Around 1 year ago I made a video on my German channel about my most important wishes for the next farm sim. And I asked the audience, what are your wishes? And I got a lot of responses, a lot. And therefore I can't say this video is about your wishes because it's more like the wishes of my German audience. But I can definitely say this is a video about player wishes for the next farm sim. And as you maybe know, they are already working on the next farm sim. We don't have an official statement about this, but it's sure, and in a lot of small hints, it is clear that they are already working on the next farm sim. I would say since last FarmCon or so, or already a while. And I'm expected to be an FS25 that will come out next year in November maybe. But maybe it will even take 1 year longer. Maybe if they don't get it, if they are not fast enough also, maybe they decide to take 1 year longer. But I hope for a next farm sim in the end of next year. So end of 2024, that will be called FS25. Yeah, it's always like that. It comes out in the year before its number. So the FS22 came out in FS21. Yeah, maybe we should start first with my wishes. This is fast. And yeah, so this is condensed. I made a whole video about this. I wished for more animal features, young animals and goats and other more animal types. I wished for improved productions, a little bit like the production revamp is now, and even further improved. And further improved helper, that rapid plant growth is possible in the base game if you so wish. So not mandatory, but only if you want to play with rapid plant growth you can do it. And then my fantasy ran wild with a story mode and more life on the maps, that you can talk to the people and so forth. Yeah, and then there came the wishes. A lot. And don't worry, you don't need to write this down or run for a magnifying glass. I have all of those categories as single slices. So, but you can see there are a lot, and for this is this page. So let's start with the AI traffic. And you wished for more agricultural vehicles as AI traffic. And I faked this with the helper going to sell some stuff. And yeah, I think that would be awesome, that we don't only have cars on the roads as AI traffic, but also tractors and such. Yeah. And that you can see other farmers working in foreign fields. So we know the fields that we don't own are owned by imaginary farmers, and yeah, magically they tend to their fields, they harvest, they sow, but you never see them. And the wishes are, we want to see how they work, so that they take their tractor and go and work on the field, and then the field changes. And I think that's an awesome idea. And you guys want smarter AI traffic and pedestrians who talk. And in FS17 we had pedestrians who talked. It was a little bit creepy, but when you went along them, they turned their head and they said hi. And I think that went in the right direction, and then they discarded it. And since FS19 we don't have this anymore, but somehow it was nice. And I want even more. I want the possibilities that pedestrian stand somewhere or sit somewhere, and that you can have small talk with them. Or maybe even talking about interesting stuff. Okay, the next set of wishes, the helper. You wished for, I tend to say you wished for, and I'm aware that it was not really you, but even my German audience was not all you who wrote, because it was 1 year ago that I asked. When I say you wished, I mean something like the huge group of players of Farming Simulator. So, you wished for permanently hired helpers, so that you have a helper that always works for you, that gets his monthly money, and that you know by name, and that is always available for you. And that all helpers have really names and not only letters. And that the helper is improved, like Cosplay or Autodrive, which are very good mods for helpers, but only for PCs. And yeah, that the helper is able to collect straw, grass, and to do baling and things like that. And a lot of you guys want GPS in the game. And there are very strong wishes for animals. Some of the wish categories I can show in this video, because we have mods who do this already. Like for the animals, there is this enhanced animal system, and others I can't do this, so sometimes we just see the combine. And yeah, in this category with animals we can see a little bit of what we wish. So a lot of you guys and me too wish for baby animals, and I think it will come, because we already have baby animals, but we can't see that they are baby animals. So the theory about the baby animals, they are young, they don't give milk, and so it's already in the game. They only need to build the animals and to animate this, which is a lot of work, but it can be done, as you can see. Yeah, here we have a lot of cows in all different kind of ages, and yeah, male animals are wished for also a lot. And here we can see no geese, but ducks. And yeah, then you wish different breeds of chickens, other dog breeds, and cats, and rabbits, llamas, and here we have some goats. Yeah, where are the goats? Yeah, you can see the goat. there is a goat coming over. This is good. And the comeback of the brown and white cows. So now we have the black and white cows and brown cows, but in FS19 we had this brown, white, spotted cows. And some people like them a lot. And that the horses will be valuable again, that you can earn money with horses. We want more wild animals. For example, fox and wild boar, and not instead of the deer, but on top of them. And that the animal barns are dirty again. So in FS19 and before, we got dirt here in the feeding area, and we had to remove this dirt. And it would be best if we would be able to switch this off, because some people like to remove the dirt and others like it how it is now. And then there is a wish for ear tags for animals, especially for the cows, and a poultry transporter, because up to now in the base game we can only buy the chickens here at the barn, but there is no vehicle for the chicken. And more convoluted animal pens. That sounds a little bit strange in the beginning, but it is an idea that not all the animal pens are as squarish or rectangle as this, or even the one with houses. They always only have a rectangular area where the animals can roam around. But I think it would be a silly idea to make a barn with a triangle area to roam around. It would be best if we could decide as player where we want the animals to roam. So something like we place down a building, and then we get an animal fence that is attached to the building also, and then we can go around and say, okay, this fence should be here, there, and make a shape according to our farm, and then we close it, and in this moment the roaming area for the animals are made automatically by the game. And right now the modder or the game developer has to... The fence is nothing for the animal. They have their plane where they are roaming around. And therefore we can't say, okay, we make the fence here and there, because the fence is not interesting for the animals. But I'm sure they could make a part of the program, a feature, where we make the fence in the shape that we want, and then the shape of the roaming area is just created by that. That would be awesome. Then you could have a very interesting shape for your cow meadow or so, and you can make it just in the shape you like. I think that would be an awesome idea. So let's go further. New fruit types. Okay, new fruit types are always wanted, and here we have quite a collection, and I'm sure there are a lot of more wishes, but they are quite interesting. So you wish for mustard, cabbage, asparagus, flowers, fruits, broad beans, or maybe just beans, peas, pumpkins, or kohlrabi, which is also called turnip cabbage. But I looked at Wikipedia and the English word for kohlrabi is kohlrabi. This is the German word too, and therefore I was wondering. Yeah, and you can write down in the description below, you can write your own wishes for the next farm sim. I will say it again at the end. And you can add more fruit types if you so wish. And in the build mode, a lot of people wished for a big overhaul of the build mode. And yeah, for example, different brush sizes and shapes, especially to make it easier to paint little dirt roads. And a separate positioning and camera. And maybe you know this. If you are in the build mode and you want to place something down and you want to look, is it okay there? And you turn it and then it moves and you can't see whether it's okay there because the camera is somehow connected with the placing. And yeah, I don't have a perfect solution for this problem, but maybe that we could put something like a temporary placement, something like let's stay there and then we turn around and have a look. Okay, it is good from all sides, and then if it's not good we can move it, release it again and move it. Something like that would help a lot. Yeah, and you guys want to move buildings at all, so also buildings that are already placed for a while, that we can't only sell it or rename it, but that it can be replaced. And an undo function is a very, very big wish. And that you can work on the ground, the terraforming, like in FS19. And yeah, maybe you remember how the terraforming worked in FS19. It was something like being an acrobat with your fingers, but you could work rather precisely, and it was not so difficult to make an area totally flat. And now you have very nice features, and it all seems to be much easier and it looks much better, but it has become very difficult to make an area just flat, and you have to be very patient even if you are experienced, and so it's not easy to make an area flat. And that's why people wish the ground work, the terraforming, like in FS19. Yeah, so. And now about the life in FarmSim. Yeah, I didn't found a better category, or I didn't knew how to call this category better. And that we have usable buildings on Giants map. That is especially from Elm Creek, where we are here. You have the possibility to have more than one farm on this map, which is good, but only the main farm has usable buildings, and even not all of them are usable. There are sheds that are just decorative and not usable as sheds. And the other 4 farms in the corner, they are just decorative buildings. You can't do anything with them. And the only thing you can do is you can sell them and build your own farm. But yeah, so people really wish to have more than one usable farm on a Giants map. And here we are already in Sri Lanka. I think they heard about this wish because in Sri Lanka we have 3 farms with usable buildings. And I think that's a good start. And people wish different starting farms. So usually we can only start on one farm on one map. Here, this helper, this is the category we want to have. More intelligent helpers. And so usually we have only one starting map. But theoretically, it's possible that you have one map with different starting farms and with different starting conditions. So you could have one main farm, and if you want to play on this main farm as a new farmer, you have all the main farm buildings and the starting equipment. And if you want to play on the small poor farm in the corner or in the mountains of the map, then you could choose this like I did with my map 4 field. There I didn't give the possibility of different farms, but more different building styles, but the principle would be the same. And yeah, that would be awesome on Giants maps as well. So yeah, that we not only have to choose between new farmer and farm manager and start from scratch, but also different farms on one and the same map. That, yeah, it would only mean that the map maker has a little bit more work, but you didn't need to make any changes on the program, so to say. Yeah, and people wished for a third-person mode. It's already existing as a mod. But in the base game, when you are running around, you don't see yourself. And we want to sit down and start a family. And it would be nice to be able to sleep until months XYZ. So if you are done with all your sowing and fertilizing, you say, okay, now I can sleep for the next 4 months and just wake me up in July. And a lot of you guys wanted rapid plant growth, like it was my own wish, as option in the base game. So not as mandatory for everybody, because it wouldn't be possible with seasons, obviously. When you have seasons, it's normal that the plant growth takes around 1 year, or yeah, from spring to autumn or so. Yeah, but without seasons, that you can choose, okay, I want rapid plant growth, normal plant growth, slowly plant growth, like we had in FS19. Yeah, and about farming, people wanted organic farming as an option. So if you click on I want to play as an organic farmer, then you get rewarded for not using mineral fertilizer and for using a weeder instead of the sprayer and things like that. Yeah, and people want vertical farming integrated, which is very modern and very important, I would say, but more for urban farming. So farming close to the cities and for lettuce and so. This would be maybe an enhancement of the greenhouses, the vertical farming. But you could do much more than just place a greenhouse and say, okay, I want lettuce, and zip, everything grows. There could be a lot of gameplay with this. And then you wanted that storm and heavy rain and other weather have effects on the growth of the plants. And I think that would be interesting and challenging. Okay, in the technology area, you wanted improved graphics and adjustable graphics. And yes, the graphics is already adjustable, but people want to have more influence on adjusting the graphics for their personal taste and need. And a lot of you guys want larger maps on consoles. And I hope they can manage. As far as I know, Giants wanted to have larger maps on consoles, at least for the newer console, and they tested several larger maps, 4x maps, and it didn't work out. And therefore, we have to wish. And with the vehicles, you wished for vintage vehicles, like old-fashioned tractors like that, more of them in the base game, and SDLCs I think too, but yeah, I think it's easier to get them in the base game than as DLC, because the manufacturers, they are not so keen on allowing to release those vintage cars. But the players, they want to have it. And one player wished that the Lempken Solitaire 12 has finally the correct animations of the connection hoses. It's a very special wish, but I wrote it down. And I think it should be. It hasn't been in FS19 and in FS22 as far as the wishing comment went, and therefore I think it's time for this. And then you wished that the repairing of the vehicles should be animated, so that some people come out of the workshop and run around the machine and do the repairing. I think that would be awesome. And then a lot of you guys wanted the manure system integrated in the game. Yeah, and then we have the production. And as I already said, a lot of you guys want improvements for the productions. And I have the production revamp activated here for you, just to show in which direction it could go. So, and sorry for the German text, but I think you will understand. So here you can tell which priority each production has. And you could either keep in the building or put out or sell directly or distribute. And this keep in the building is missing. And then the distributing is much more refined in the production revamp. And yeah, and I already heard from Giants devs already 1.5 years ago in the FarmCon at Mannheim that they will be working on this and that the production will be improved for the next FarmSim. So I'm really looking forward to this. And Other wishes concerning productions are a quarry and a lime production, and very important, a compatibility between productions and stables or barns. That the wool from the sheep can be distributed automatically to the production, and the pig food from the production or the TMR can be distributed automatically to the barns, because right now they are separated systems and you can't distribute anything to the other. And you want more productions per save game. Right now we have a limit of 60 productions per save game, and yeah, you guys want more. And then there was a very, very nice idea, and it was a harvest festival like the boat production in Silverrun Forest. So yeah, with this boat production, you had to bring in a lot of different stuff like wood and clothes and steel and everything, and then a boat was built, and finally it was finished, and then it drove on the river to the horizon, and you got money, and like that a harvest festival would be awesome. And I think that's such a nice idea. I like that much more than boat building and even the roller coaster, which are really nice ideas. I like them, but the harvest festival would be so, so nice that we have something like a festival place which is empty usually, and then you bring in all your produced goods and the things you harvested, and a lot is happening, and you see how they bake big breads and special breads and so, and yeah, make really nice decorations and so, and in the end there is a big party and a lot of money is coming in. Something like that would be so nice, I think. Yeah, and then we have Miscellaneous, and you want improved in-game tutorials, and I think yes, that's a very, very good idea, and that's very needed, and I think they are already working on this. And optionally unlockable perks like tractors and devices, and that was meant like in other games. Very often you have to do several things, and then when you did it, you earned a perk. And you can either buy this perk with your points, or you just get it. It is unlocked. And so let's say you harvested 3 fields, and then you get the you are a junior farmer perk unlocked, and yeah, you'll be able to buy a better sewing machine or things like that. And I think it would be nice. And yeah, and it would be nice if it's optional. So if people want to stay in this sandbox mode as the farming sim is, it's okay, it stays like that. And if people want to get motivated by those perks, then they can activate it and they get more motivation to do several things. So, and then you want more pronounced difficulty levels. We have this system with new farm manager start from scratch, and in this we have the simple and normal and difficult money conditions, but it is only about the prices. And so people want more sophisticated difficulty stages. Like we have in the menu, we also have this, you need to plow, you can activate it or deactivate, and more things like that. And that this difficulty goes deeper and that we have more stages, and maybe that people who like to play realistically can just switch off, I want to play the difficult realistical mode, and then they just need to do certain things that their crop is growing at all. And when other people say, oh, I want to have it easy going, then you have auto load automatically and things like that. Yeah, and you guys want all kinds of fieldwork available as missions. Right now there are only certain types of fieldwork available, like harvesting or cultivating and bale missions, but you want to have forage harvesting and stone collecting and all those kind of things as missions as well. And that it is easier to fell trees. And then there was the idea to get access to real weather data. So maybe not if I'm playing here in the evening, not that I get the weather data from right now in the evening or so, but maybe more like from the last month or so. So only if you so wish. I don't really understand this wish somehow, but let's say when you play in the summer and you are in real life in the summer, and then it would be nice if outside it's very dry and the farmers, they have to fight against the dry weather or something like that, that this could be taken into your game, and then you have the experience like the farmers in your surrounding. And like that, it would seem to me a really, really nice idea. Yeah, and there is the wish that the train is free again and it stays where you park it. So like it was before, so not that it is something, a transporting feature that is only sometimes available and then it's gone again, but more that is the train is more like your own vehicle. Yeah, and realistic furrows. I don't know whether that was translated correctly. It's like like with the potatoes and the carrots, those. I forgot the word. And the last wish is mud. That you have mud. And I guess people who want mud want to sink into the mud. Yeah, and we all know a lot of people want this. Yeah, now it's your turn. Write down your wishes underneath this video, and let's hope that giants have a look at this video and they read your comments. That would be awesome, wouldn't it? And then the best would be if they are willing to fulfill some or most of the wishes. That would be the best. Okay. I wish you a wonderful day. Thank you for watching and all the best. Till next time. Tschüss.